Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? And thank you for joining us for another episode of the Primecast. Sorry, first and foremost, I do apologize for us having to cancel abruptly last week. Some personal stuff came up that had to be handled immediately. You know, real world first, always type of deal. But we got a good show for you tonight. Had to adjust the set list just a little bit because a bunch of new stuff happened while we were getting ready to do the last one. So, as always, I will not be doing this alone. Got a wonderful panel ahead of us, and first and foremost, let's bring on our co-host, Hoarder Gamer. What's
Hello,
going on,
everybody.
Hoarder? How you doing? So yeah, one hell of a couple weeks, huh?
Yes, a lot of insane things going on.
Yeah. And of course, they enjoyed it so much the first time that they wanted to come on and do it again. So our guest for tonight will be none other than Cool Daddy Rags, Ragnarok. What's going on, Rag?
I paused my online game to get here.
Oh,
Ah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, EverQuest, which y'all know about that.
And last but not least, a fellow wielder of the light and dark, very much like myself. We have been going through it the past week, and as soon as the podcast is over, we're going to be diving right back into it. None other than Lionheart. What's going on?
What's up, everybody? How's it going, Jay?
All right. So, as always, well, I already know me and Ryan's answer, but might as well ask everybody else. What have you been playing this week, or what is something cool that has happened to you? Hoarder.
so Destiny2, the final shape. I've been enjoying the campaign because I play it as a casual. And then let's see, some Diablo, but Dragon Age Inquisition of all things. Actually, just started a playthrough of that.
Nice. And Ryan, how about you?
You already know. I've been grinding Destiny hard. I'm trying to get my power level up. I was going to do the raid race. Plans changed, but ultimately, I would say a good thing is the fact that I kind of just told my job, hey, I'm not coming in for the next 3 days. Hold that.
And how about you, Rag? What you been playing, or what is something cool that happened to you?
I reinstalled Elden Ring, and I've been trying to reestablish my dominance, and it had been failing.
I was about to say, how is that going?
Yeah, I realized I was mad rusty, and I'm like, yo, I actually suck now. The DLC is right around the corner. I wanted to, re-immerse myself in the world, and then the world just whooped my ass.
Just smacked you right back down.
It's like, how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, I myself have definitely been in the trenches for the past week. Destiny 2, the final shape. We have done 2 complete playthroughs. One on my Warlock. No, I'm sorry. We have done 3 complete playthroughs at this point. I did a regular one on my Warlock for the sake of recording. Then went right back in and did Legendary. And I have now also completed Legendary on my Hunter. And I started Legendary on my Titan just before the podcast. Unfortunately, did not have a team for World's First this time around, which is unfortunate. And it definitely looks like it's going to be like herding cats just to get a regular one, because World's First has been an experience this time around. So at current contest mode, what ended 1 p.m. today, I believe?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Out of the hundreds of thousands that attempted, what, less than a dozen people finished?
Damn.
Or less than a dozen teams?
No, I want to say about 50 to 100 teams finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many within the first day?
Then the first day,
So
only
like
one.
1 p.m. to 1 p.m. the next day.
One.
Wow.
That tells you something.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Bungie was sitting there watching us on the last 2 raids, just sitting there taking notes. They completed it in how long? Oh, they ain't doing that again. All right, let me do something here.
Yeah. First team finished in roughly 18 hours and change.
Oh my
Everybody else
God.
is past a day. Everybody else past a day.
We'll touch on this during Double D's, which we're about to do here in just a minute. But
Yeah.
there is definitely some special acknowledgments out to some of the world's first teams that definitely deserve some shout outs. And speaking of which, we can just go ahead and roll right into Jay and Hoarder's Double D's. And audience, this is your warning. I'm going to go elitist at least for a little bit because some of you blueberries have been pissing me off. So it's time for Destiny Dad to pull the belt out a little bit. Some of y'all need to have a lesson taught to you. But before we really dig into that, I guess we should essentially, I'm not going to spill it on the floor, but we are going to pour one out for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because it seems like Rocksteady has pretty much abandoned ship at this point.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much next to no coverage or support for this game going forward, to the point I'm not even sure the DLC is going to get finished. Hoarder,
Yeah,
would you
Jason
care to elaborate?
Schreier basically had an article recently, I believe it was Bloomberg, and detailed how difficult that game was to make, how long it took, how there were constantly headbutting over like what the direction was going to be. At one point, it was straight up melee, like a normal Arkham game was. And then it was the heads of the team, Sefton and Jamie Walker, who decided to introduce gunplay. And then it was all these other elements of things being changed way deep into the process. And it was, I guess you could say, a shit show, sadly. And then there were people, they would hire them. They wouldn't even tell them what game they were working on. And some of the new hires, when they found out it was that game, they just left right there. So there was a lot of issues developing this game. And now, sadly, this is where it gets really painful for me. Most of the team has been moved over to, of all things, Hogwarts Legacy Deluxe. I'm not kidding you. Like an update version coming out, like I guess supposedly maybe next year or something. Yeah. So that's what happened there. Apparently, it's like an expansion / the ultimate version of the game. So that happened. And then the team that's still there, it's a relatively small. They are still working on the DLC, but they might truncate things. So maybe they'll give us one of the two characters. Maybe they'll finish the story in just one character. I'm not exactly sure. This is also painful. At one point, the end game, these seasons and everything, was going to be far meatier with a lot more to do and everything. And from everything Schreier heard, basically that changed drastically. So, yeah, like I mentioned before, this was the game I was looking forward to the most this year. So definitely disappointed. I'm still going to play whatever they release for it, but like not having any hope of a continuation of the story or anything that's going to be like real meaningful is very upsetting.
I kind of had a feeling that the writing was on the wall because, like, I was right there with you in the trenches when the game released. In fact, like I was one of the few that took that day trip to Australia to play it early, and the foundation of the game was good. It was really, really good. You could tell there wasn't a lot of love in certain areas that needed a little more TLC, but the foundation was fine. And if you have a good foundation, you can build upon it. And episode 2 came out of season 1. I did 2 missions. Really didn't know where I was supposed to go or how to progress, and just said, and just uninstalled it. I was done. So like that.
Can I just say though,
Would you make me just go, I'm out? Like, you've shot yourself in the foot pretty hard.
I will say, conceptually speaking, I would be curious to see what a melee version of the game would have looked like. Aside from Deadshot and Captain Boomerang, you could have given like gadgets to, and everyone else could have just kind of. I would have been curious to see it, just based off of like the Arkham games. They could have made that work.
Crazy thing about it, they had the Foundation already, and I'm using Foundation a lot, but they had a canvas they could have painted this picture on if they had just looked slightly over to the left and just took maybe a 5-second look at Avengers, because there were melee and ranged characters in that game, and it was just like, yep, you didn't even look at the trailer. Like, what's wrong with you? But yeah, sad days for superhero gamers. Thank God Marvel Rivals is on the horizon. So hope you guys liked Overwatch, because that's all you're getting for a while. But I do believe some new things happened over on the Diablo front. So why don't you shed some light on that for us?
Yes. So they announced Vessel of Hatred. I believe it was last year they announced it. Well, now we actually got an amazing cinematic trailer that's going to open the expansion. And let's see, how could I sum this up? Basically, you fought terrible evil in the form of Lilith in Diablo 4, and then you met a young woman by the name of Neyrelle. Neyrelle's mother was into magic, basically got too far into magic, and was kind of like taken or usurped by Lilith, okay? So now Neyrelle made this insane sacrifice to defeat Lilith, has a crystal with her, which has her father, Mephisto, inside it, also known as Hatred. So the Vessel of Hatred is the crystal that she's carrying with her, and that's going to be insane. The cinema basically shows her in a boat, and the person paddling the boat is, just like, do you need it? How are you? Are you okay? And she's kind of like freaking out, and then she's like in a hellscape where Mephisto is there and splits her arms open in what is like an R-rated looking, insane, violent trailer that they showed during the Xbox event. It was crazy as hell. Mephisto is going to be intense. Then they were like, that's not enough. You can pre-order right now, and if you do, you get a pet. If anyone played Diablo 3, the pets go around and pick up your crafting materials, your gold, so you don't have to. They just run around and grab that. They're really well animated and awesome. So because of the anniversary, they're like, and even if you don't pre-order the game, just log in right now. They had an update this afternoon on a Sunday to have a pet that meets you in Kiovashad. So basically you go and you pet the dog that you meet, and now you have a pet, which is something people that played Diablo 3 really wanted. So we have that now. So, yeah, and this expansion is going to be bringing in something akin to a raid based on the insane writing that was found talking about the detail of the new PvE experiences that this will bring. Plus a huge, like story campaign. I'm going to guess probably 6 to 8 hours. And then Nahantu, a brand new like jungle area that's similar to an area we saw in Diablo 2.
Okay.
October 8th.
Nice.
40 to I believe it's $40 to $70, I believe. The base version is $40.
That ain't bad.
And this is an expansion that's going on to Diablo 4.
Yes, and Diablo 4, in case everybody didn't know, is on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you have Diablo 4, you would just need the expansion, which is, like I said, starting at $40.
So you're paying $40 for an annual expansion to this game.
Almost sounds like Destiny, doesn't it?
Yet I hear nobody complaining about it.
Because it's Diablo, bro.
It's Destiny, bro.
You know this. It's Diablo, baby. Just pay them. Shut up and pay them.
Well, you don't got cell phones?
Still the best moment I think I've seen at a conference ever.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness!
The
Like I
sheer-
remember seeing, like, because I have not played a lick of Diablo in my entire life, but I saw that Q&A after that trailer, and
See, on
they
one
were
hand,
rended asunder. And
that was
I
a very
loved it.
stupid thing for him to say, and he should have known better. But they should have known better than to send those boys out there with a mobile game trailer to a crowd of
Yeah.
Diablo people. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You just sent them to their execution, bro.
I'd have been like, "You want me to do what?" No, you can fire me, but no.
That was one of the biggest body bags in Q&A history.
I've never seen a trailer get that many dislikes since. I don't think.
Oh, I believe it. But all right, Ryan, I'm gonna have you join me up here for a minute. So,
Upper room.
you and I essentially finished the fight last night.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
Yeah. Rookie players really make me sick. You know that?
Man, tell me about it. I got stories on stories on stories, man.
So,
Like,
for the uninitiated, the final shape, which is basically the final chapter of a 10-year story, has released this week. We've been playing the dickens out of it. Race to World's First has gone on and finished. And before we get into our elitist moment, shout outs to Clan Parabellum.
yep,
Yeah, was
First.
the very first team to complete this raid.
Wow.
yep.
Shout outs to Datto, who was live
Datto.
for 27 hours.
My God.
Took a 8-hour break and then came back and completed the raid within the first 3 tries.
Wow.
Yep.
And then major, huge shout outs to content creator Aztecross, who stayed
MVP.
live for 36 hours
MVP of the whole raid.
and did not stop until they finished the raid. And then on top of that, he's live again right now, doing it some more.
Wow.
The Titan
MVP.
class is no longer going to be considered Titan. You are now playing the Aztecross class because this man is clearly a machine. But
Mhm.
with that being said, through the tireless efforts of the world's first raiders, a new event opened up in the game called Excision, the first ever Destiny 2 12-man activity.
Mhm.
Oh.
That is match made. Now, with that being said, this is a raid boss fight that they pretty much opened the floodgates went on and said, come and get it. You casuals have a very, very bad habit of ruining something great and not even realizing it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. No,
Present company excluded.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, Hoarder, if you came in with me on something in-game related, you'd listen to what I had to say.
Oh, I
because
would,
you knew
yes,
I'd know
yes.
better. Absolutely. But
I wouldn't. I'd Leroy Jenkins you in a heartbeat.
you would find out just how fast I can hit that kick button.
Like the thing is, it's like we're not trying to be, saying, oh, we never want to play with casuals and anything like that. It's just that if you even have an inkling that there's going to be some type of raid mechanic in these and you don't raid, you should probably, the same like Pantheon, because there were plenty of videos going out about it, educate yourself.
Yeah.
We're at this last boss fight to end the witness, and there are very, very light raid mechanics going on. It's as simple as just watch your feet. Watch your feet, bruh.
Yeah.
And it's like
Know when to jump.
they're standing in front of you with your rockets. They're standing next to you, and then you can't move because of collision with other guardians. So now, the witness's Kamehameha wave is blasting you and them, and now you're wiped. And it's just like, can you move? Can you pay attention? And they're just like, and it's
They see
like,
the witness's hand move and they go, "That's a pretty blue."
uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
next thing you know, they're
Like,
dead.
it's like they were just total, like the floor glowing yellow meant nothing to you. You just said, I'll just stand right here. Like, nah, man, come on.
And I think that's ultimately where the problem is because they know they'll just respawn in another 5 seconds. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But these people that don't care because you will respawn in another 5 seconds, y'all are the exact same people that keep asking me to carry you into these activities where you're not coming back in 5 seconds. One of us has to risk our neck to come revive you.
Mhm.
So this is my PSA from Destiny Dad himself. If you want to do this stuff, we're willing to help you, but you need to be willing to listen. Bungie has thrown some of the hardest content they have ever come up with directly into our faces this time, and we're not going to want to keep wasting our time if you're not going to be willing to learn. So, Destiny Dad has officially spoken. Do not waste my time.
Yeah, it's not only that, it's a multitude of things in the game that they don't participate in that they are now, they have more accessibility to now, like trials and other things like GMs and stuff, and it's like they just don't know what to do. Like when I said earlier how I have a multitude of stories, I'm not going over any of them, but most of them come from trials, and it's it's more accessibility to trials, new trials paths that they have that newer players or not so good players can do to continuously keep playing and stay in the player base. And I've played in front of Jay one time, and he could see just how frustrated I was getting because it's like they just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know you got to be patient with them.
Like that time you and me went flawless together, and every single time we were just staring at our third man going, well, what the hell are you going to do?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's a matter of just trying to learn. And I think, one thing that Bungie has kind of done for a while is not encourage people to learn, because it was always such a massive thing of, let's just make this easier. Let's just make this easier. Let's tone this down a bit. It's never really been a stigma of, let's try and encourage our newer players to try and learn these things. This way they can, it's always been like, let's link you up with people. Which is good, LFG things, and they're all, that's great. But it should be more of, teach yourself how to get better. This way you aren't bringing other players down. There's some activities where you just need everybody alive.
Yeah. And a little bit of Destiny terminology for my casual players out there, my new lights, as you were. If somebody says play your life, I'm going to tell you exactly what that means now. Play your life means the shit has hit the fan. We do not have a viable means of reviving you, so stay alive by any means necessary. Play your life does not mean run face first at the boss.
Yes, it does. Run.
He's the devil on their shoulder that's saying, "Yeah, do it. Do you know you want to do it?"
Ragnarok play Destiny now. Just see what would happen.
Whatever happens, just don't stop crouching.
I would guess it means shoot
some
from
cases.
cover. I would guess it means shooting from cover.
Oh, absolutely. Make good use of cover. Absolutely.
Yeah, like cover, use your abilities, use your super if you have to in certain situations. Normally we would say save your super for specific things, but if it's more important for you to be alive than for you to do damage in a particular moment, then absolutely use your super to stay alive in that moment. It's more of like knowing what your team wants from you, but also knowing how to think for yourself. It's a mixture, Just got to know what to do in the moment.
And for all the people that I have seen, and I've seen this for a number of years now, contest mode is too hard. This is too difficult. This is too painstaking. I can't do this. You need to carry me, yada, 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 yada. Please understand that while this game is wildly casual focused, you can go into so many different things. And if you want to try that higher level stuff, you don't have to go to Discord or Reddit or message boards anymore. There is built-in LFG. I almost said FGC. Built-in FGC in Destiny, but there's more FGC Destiny players than people realize.
Way more.
But there is a built-in LFG in the game now that you can actually use different tags and titles and such to find the ideal team for you. If you don't want to talk, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. If you want to talk and meet new people, you can do that as well. There are avenues for you to do this stuff. But things like trials, world's first, contest mode, all this type of stuff, this stuff is catered to the upper 1% of the game. You are not going to be ready for this stuff. And making that stuff easier just so you can get a participation medal, while 99% of this game is catered to you, it is not fair to take away that 1% that is catered to the people that want harder content. And you need to start understanding that. But with that being said, just because you want to do it doesn't mean I'm not going to help. Just come prepared to learn. That is all I'm going to say. Like Dr. Strange said, we're in the end game now. And that statement has never been more truer than Final Shape. So, yeah.
Absolutely. It's literally a massive thing of you have to understand that you're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to die a lot. And you're going to learn a lot, though. So it's like exactly how he said, just come ready to learn, come with acceptance, come with all of these things. This way, as we're getting better and learning, you know, you are understanding how to do it. This way you can do other endgame things. But if you're massively casual, you need to understand that endgame stuff isn't for you. Everything shouldn't be accessible. Everything should not be accessible to you. Things are just going to be difficult. And if you want to do those things, you have to put in the work. You know what I'm saying?
I had somebody, shout outs to Twisted Heat. From the Avengers community. He came in and hung out with us during the release of Final Shape, and he asked me a question, and I really had to think about how to answer him without just, you know, coming off like an elitist asshole. But he said he had not played the game in 3 years. Where should he start? Now, the dickhead in me would be like, where you left off. Like, just go from there. But a big thing that a lot of people need to ask themselves, like look in the mirror and ask themselves, why do you want to come back to Destiny? Because this is a game, and I'm really going to get to the heart of what a live service game really is for all of you right now. A live service game like Destiny 2 realistically requires you to invest about 5 to 10 hours of your time a week to stay up to date with this game, because this game is not going to wait for you. If you cannot commit to that kind of time, my honest to God answer, if it's just new game hype that's kind of hitting you, like, oh my God, this new shiny thing's coming out and I want to experience it because everybody's excited and happy for it and all that stuff, you know what? Go nuts. Go play that campaign. The campaign's fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10. Some of the best storytelling they have ever shown. But just leave it there. Leave it there, have your fun with it, and then move on. But if you want to do all the things, you need to be willing to put in the time. And that is all I ask, is don't waste your time. Don't waste our time. Understand what this game wants from you. And if that's not something you're willing to commit to, that's okay. But understand what this game wants is the biggest thing I ask.
So he said that not everything will be available to you, and if you want to do the cool shit, you got to put the work in. Boy, do I wish that modern fighting games would use that mantra again.
Oh my God, right?
Like everybody and their mama looks at Evo Moment 37 with like it's this shining achievement, like the pinnacle of being a fighting game player. But I want to do that without understanding how much skill it took to do that in that exact moment, knowing that any mistake you made, you were dead. And now they're trying to make everything like that so much easier. It kind of takes the fun out of it. Anybody can hit like all these crazy combos and frame traps in these games because they're all dumbed down and easy.
Right there. You try to say this in a calm and friendly manner. And, oh my God, you're such an elitist. You're such a sweat. Well,
you know what? Goddamn it,
I was going to go elitist for a minute.
I'm a sweaty motherfucker.
If you think I'm elitist, then here I present to you this. There you go.
Literally, all of that exact statement is literally most of Destiny Twitter. It's annoying. It's like you can't make a high-end statement about anything without the raging casuals come in and just like, rah, 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 you're just an elitist and you're this and you're you know what I'm saying? Like it's annoying. And yeah, it is a thing with fighting games as well. It's like they want to constantly make things, you know, easier. They want things more accessible. I want to do that. You should allow me to do that. Can, if you put in the work, you know, no, you should make it easier.
Well,
See?
no, you should get better.
Shout out to everybody that wanted an easy mode added to Elden Ring.
Right.
Hold
Like,
that L. I will never forget how much.
I'm sorry,
flat-
Cool Daddy. I'm one of those people. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Who this man?
You gotta
Who this?
understand. I buy the game and I put the time and effort in, but I can only get like 25%, maybe 50% in, and it's just like I skill limitation. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure I'll break down and get the damn DLC as well.
Well, you know what the funny thing is?
I'm gonna tell you, Hoarder. I'm gonna tell you this. This was one of the most brilliant things I was ever told. And shout outs to a member of our community by the name of Madroxide. He came to me, a fledgling Baraka player in Mortal Kombat 1. He was like, I want you to just beat my ass up and down this game until I don't do dumb things anymore. And I was like, well, can do. He made the mentality. He didn't fret. And anybody that's watched my streams know that, like, the salt gets a hold of me every now and then. Just
a little bit.
3 controllers, 2 monitors, and a keyboard.
Atrocious.
But he made the most brilliant statement. No, this doesn't bother me at all. One must get washed in order to become clean. And that was one of the best statements I ever heard. If you want to get good, you got to deal with some pain in order to get there.
I'll tell you, Hoarder, I bought every Dark Souls game, 1, 2, 3. I maybe 15, 20. I think the furthest I got was in Dark Souls 1. I've never beaten a FromSoft game ever. And Elden Ring, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be the game that I'm going to finally beat. And it took me 100 and some odd hours, and I died so many times. Millennia. Fuck you. But I would still marry you in a heartbeat. Millennia Bay for life. But I finally did it. I became an Elden Lord. And it was so fucking satisfying. So they're like, yes, I did it. And I get to do it all over again. And now I suck again. So
I remember watching you play God of War Rack, and it was like right off the coattails of me doing Give Me God of War when that dude made that unholy bet that he was going to pay me such and such amount of for the time that I played Give Me God of War mode. And I beat it. I beat it all the Valkyries and everything. I remember you fought your first Valkyrie, and I don't remember what it was that made you mad, but you hurled your axe at the kid, number one. So that was already hilarious, like right off the jump. But then you didn't even this game. You didn't even go back for the axe. You didn't recall the axe. Nothing. You just kept trudging on without it.
Okay. Everyone who watched that knows that I hate Atreus. I hate the character. I hate his lame ass AI. I hate his moveset. I hate his story sections. I hate that character. I threw that axe with a purpose, hoping that I could break the game code and somehow find a way just to kill this kid and have it be canon in game. So I wouldn't have to listen to him whine the whole time and a sniveling little I wanted to punt him off a cliff so many times. I wish I could.
You're not the only one, yeah. The moment he found out he was a god and he started getting all uppity, even the misses in the background, like, that boy needs his ass beat. I swear to God.
I don't think that's the worst kid in games.
He's not the worst, but he's
up there.
He's like the Caillou of God of War.
Have you guys played the Walking Dead Telltale games?
Yeah, I haven't.
The first 2.
Okay. Do you remember Duck from the first one?
Oh yeah, Duck was terrible.
The worst. Top tier. Number one.
You had me freaked out. You were gonna say Clementine, and I'd be like, "Well, what?"
There'll be no Clementine slander.
No, that's the goat. Nah. I'm talking about Duck. I'm talking about the kid you feed. You use your resources to feed, and he's literally. We're not gonna get into that.
At least in those games,
This is an angel.
need someone getting killed so you can get rid of them. In most of the time, I don't know about Duck, but
yeah. But in closing on the Destiny stuff, if you haven't had a chance to play it and you do actually want to dive back into Destiny 2, definitely pick up the Final Shape. It is a 10-year story that is finally coming to a close. The ending is beyond satisfying.
Oh yeah.
It's made as a joke quite a bit, but man, we really should threaten Bungie to let Destiny die more often, because they really came out with some award-winning material this time. It was really, really good. So good, in fact, that the moment that the Primecast is over, me and Ryan are getting back on the game. So yeah, but if you genuinely, and I'm speaking from the heart here, if there are things that you need help with, come to us literally anytime. Hell, in my channel points, there's literally a activate Destiny Dad mode option where I will pretty much maybe not drop everything that I'm doing. Like I may not quit a raid mid-mission to come help you, but as soon as that raid's done, hey, what do you need help with? All right, let's go get it. Just hit that button and Destiny Dad will be there. I promise.
For our viewers, real quick,
yeah,
that haven't done a raid, what would you recommend as a good starter raid?
Vault of Glass.
Okay.
Do the first one. Vault of Glass, like, it's a good experience. It keeps you on your toes, but the mechanics are not hard to figure out. Every raid has like a gimmick. Like Crota's End, it was hot potato. I would say, yeah, because somebody just mentioned Taken King. Taken King is more or less a game of team tag. And then what else? Deepstone Crypt. That's a more complicated game of hot potato. But every single one of them has a gimmick. And once you figure out the gimmick, it's just a matter of staying alive.
Okay.
Start with I agree with Jay. Start with the first one. That's the first ever one made. It's easy to pick up. Everything else, it's like you gotta go in with, a little bit more team play understanding and just things like that.
I mean, Vault of Glass is one of those things where it's just kind of like there are people that have beaten Vault of Glass solo.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Salvation's Edge, go right to the top, really.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man. Yo, if you got
the right.
On the subreddit, people were saying Worlds or Leviathan. Those are the two on the subreddit that were popular.
I would actually suggest Leviathan if Leviathan was still in the game, but it's not.
Oh, it was removed. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the unfortunate casualties of the content vault. That is no longer there. The Eater of Worlds and the Spire of Stars are no longer there, but Vault of Glass is back, and Vault of Glass is literally the first raid they've ever made.
Okay.
So you actually starting there, you're actually starting at the beginning.
Cool.
And then you can do Crota's End, which was the second one they did, and then taking King's Fall, which is the third one they did.
The only piece of Leviathan that people got in recent time was fighting Riven and Pantheon. A couple weeks back. That's about it. But outside of that, you need the full experience. Last Wish is great experience.
Last Wish is still in the game, but that is definitely not a raid you go in half cocked. Like I've ran Last Wish several times.
But you said Leviathan or Last Wish?
A raid that I'm still kind of foggy on.
You said Leviathan or Last Wish?
Leviathan.
It's not in
I
there.
was looking at you funny. I'm like, Riven is not in Leviathan.
I'm bugging out. Yeah. I'm bugging out. Yeah.
But all right, we could literally talk about this all night, but we have other topics to cover.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm gonna call an audible here. All in favor of just skipping Fortnite?
Sure.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. Combo Breaker recap. We were going to talk about this last week, but didn't happen last week. So this was my first Combo Breaker. Rag, it has been, your 47th?
Third, fourth. I lost count at this point.
Yeah. How was your experience, and how did it differ from other Combo Breakers?
I don't think it really differed too much. Combo Breaker kind of has its set, I don't want to say formula, but it's set what you expect. I would say I'm still maintaining it's one of the better tournaments to go to. CEO, Evo. I've been to a few others, but those are kind of the big three for me. Having a 24-hour venue is always nice. The game selection was great as well. Price wasn't too bad. Everyone knows that tournament prices are going up. I'm sure convention prices are probably doing the exact same thing. The only criticisms I would levy against the event are the same ones that are kind of tied to it, in that the floor is, I hate saying that floor, it's like a concrete.
Could use some carpet.
it's a concrete floor you're standing on, and it's like a 3 to 4 day event with a 24-hour venue. So you're in that all day, and no amount of Dr. Souls is going to save your feet after 4 or 5 hours. And while it's great to have a 24-hour venue because you can literally go get games at any hour of the day, It does. You do pay for it because the consoles tend to overheat. Some of the sections lost power this year, I believe. There was a couple of years ago where
I actually found out about that. Day one, lightning struck the convention center. That's why we lost power.
Wow.
Yeah. But there was one, I think there's like two Kombat breakers. It was one of the Injustice 2 ones where I was playing casuals with somebody, and you could literally hit a button on the controller, count 1, 2, 3, then the move comes out on the third side. That was that delayed because of how just hot the consoles were getting.
Yikes.
So having to shut the consoles off for a little bit, let them rest for 20, 30 minutes, kick them back on. It's good and bad for the 24-hour venue.
So, yeah, I would definitely agree with a lot of that. The arcade was nice. You and I perused the arcade for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Found probably one of the most racist fighting games we've ever seen.
I remember what it was called.
Hilarious. Yeah, it was old, but my God. Marshall just mentioned it. So there is a very unique vendor that apparently is just exclusive to Combo Breaker, and that is the Popcorn Baron.
Yeah, everyone, that line never goes down. You can get in there and just wait for hours to get your popcorn.
Yeah, it's good. That had some flavors that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know watermelon popcorn was a thing.
Yeah.
Very reasonably priced. Good portions for a small amount of money. I want to know what freak genetic mutant corn he's using to make those popcorn kernels, though. Like, because I have never seen popcorn kernels the size of my fucking thumb.
Yeah.
And he just gives you they're all uniform. They're all that big. And I'm like, how is he doing this?
That's the great thing about Popcorn Barrel. If you can imagine the flavor, it's probably on their list somewhere.
Yeah. Like buttered chicken.
They had ketchup flavored popcorn. I don't know what madman would want to try that, but they had it.
That doesn't surprise me because ketchup chips are a thing.
Yeah, huge in Canada.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, clearly Canada must be sawed off from the rest of North.
Yeah, that's crazy. What?
Because another flavor I noticed on that menu, and like, by the way, like chat, the menu for the Popcorn Baron was like 3 pages long.
Yeah.
Like there was that many stuff. Another classic Canadian flavor that I noticed was all dressed. All dressed is basically we're putting all the seasoning, like salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, ketchup, barbecue, that's in there too. All in the same bag, yep. And it's freakishly good.
It is. Lay's actually brought all dressed to the United States like 5 years ago, and I know the ketchup chips were here real briefly, but yeah.
Yeah, all dressed are actually quite insane.
They did have that cabinet for the League of Legends fighting game. I forget what they're calling it. It's something stupid. That's
2X
not.
KO, yeah.
Yeah, it's League of Legends in a fighting game.
Did you get to play it? I only got to play it like once.
No, I didn't. I mean, I watched people play it. It looked a lot like CVS2 mixed with something else, which is not a bad thing. It's just kind of what I identified based off of the visuals. But it looked like a fun game.
Yeah, it was definitely enjoyable for like the 5 minutes I got to play it, and they were like, "All right, you got to move," and it's like, "Okay, all right, okay."
Yeah, I played it at Evo last year. It was a really fun experience.
Yeah, I would definitely go back. One of the biggest things that appealed to me about it is like, if you weren't all that interested in the tournament, that was okay. There was still plenty there for you to do. Like, this tournament was the first tournament I ever saw that, like, this was more of a convention rather than a tournament. And that was actually very refreshing. It almost felt like walking around MagFest again, where it's like, yeah, there are tournaments there if you like, but there's other things you can go to.
It's sort of been that way ever since they moved to the Schaumburg Renaissance out of the Pheasant Run. Pheasant Run was still good, but it's kind of grown into like this convention / fighting game tournament.
And I think that's the better route. Like, especially if you're trying to capture more of the casual audience of like, yeah, you don't have to like what you said, everyone here except 8 people suck. And then you just left it there. And it's like, all right, yeah, we all suck. All right, cool. Like, guess I'll go over here and do something. But yeah, if you're worried like, oh man, I'm gonna get washed if I go into the tournament, that's fine. Don't even enter the tournament. There are other things there you can do. And then on top of that, there's so much stuff around that area that you can just go check out.
Mitsuwa
I would
being a
definitely
big one.
Yeah,
recommend giving it a
Mitsua's awesome.
Question: Did you guys? Did any of y'all go to Portillo's?
I did not, only because we've got them here, and I'm
We
sure
got those in Wisconsin too.
I'm sure they're better there, but it's Portillo's.
Me, KDZ, and Gur went to a place called Mitsuwa.
Yes.
Okay.
Per Ragnarok's recommendation, I went there, and I
Every year.
was not disappointed.
I wouldn't necessarily see Jay going to Portillo's because it is very greasy and cheat-worthy food, but it is so good.
I mean, I kind of had to make peace with that over the weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I ate a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, it's a really good spot. You gotta check it out. I found out about it from a stand-up comedian named Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fluffy.
Yeah, he went to he had a show in Chicago and he kept talking about the chocolate cake shake and I said I have to try it when I go to Chicago and I tried it and it was too much, dude. It's a whole meal in a cup. It's too much.
Yeah, they give you a big ass cup too.
Yeah.
Greg Miller's mom used to work at Portillo's, and he would talk about Portillo's a lot. So that's how I found out about it. And then they opened up one here like 5 years later in Wisconsin. We have a few of them now.
That's awesome.
It's one of the few places I'll eat like a double bacon cheeseburger and I'll just pass out for hours on
It's
end.
so good, but it's so bad for you.
Yeah.
God, I would probably watch you eat that Rax and just get full by watching you eat it because, like, I would take one look at that and go, just.
Actually, I had one more, and it's not Combo Breaker's fault, but it happened at Combo Breaker, so I have to blame them. Because a few years ago, during the first year of Injustice 2, Ed Boon was there, and one of the things we got to see during the tournament was they showed the trailer for Red Hood, and it was like the reveal for it. It was great. Everyone popped up. It was fun. You just tell them on my YouTube channel. But this one, Tyler was there, Derek was there, Ed Boon was there. I didn't see 16-bit, but everyone from NRS was there, and we all knew Homelander was coming eventually because they've already shown the teaser trailer for him. And Ed gets on the mic, he does his thing. We're like, all right, here we go. It's, we got everyone has their phones out. Thank you, have a good day. And bounces. It was like just the biggest cock tease ever, just to come back home. And then, like, on Monday afternoon, hey, by the way, Homelander trailer drops tomorrow afternoon. I'm like, we were all just there.
I was in the airport and just audibly went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like we were all, everyone was there. We were there. Just show it there. You were there. You had a microphone.
So I bet you anything because, like, soon before awards, because you and me were hanging there because me and Tyler are friends, so we were reminiscing and catching up and all that. And I brought you over, like, you want to go meet Ed, you want to meet Tyler and all that. I saw them leave after we were talking, and they were over by the exit, and I see Ed motioning to Tyler like this, like doing it frantically, and he brings him over and he's whispering something, and then Tyler's just like. And then they just go in separate directions.
Yeah.
I think that conversation may have been somebody messed up with the trailer and it's not ready.
Yeah.
I feel like they may have had to have called an audible because they had to go fix the trailer.
Like, I never would have booed that man, but in the back of my head, I was like, boo.
Yeah. Oh my God, Pra. Oh my God. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Do some doing the pat down, like, where the fuck?
Yeah, Ed left it in his other pants. It's like crap.
Left it at the bar, just sitting there on the counter.
Which is a shame that we didn't find it because we spent our fair amount of time there.
Hell yeah, at those prices too.
But speaking of Mortal Kombat, we're going to go ahead and address this right now. Homelander's in the game, and he brought a bunch of game-breaking shit with him.
Sounds like him.
If anyone was going to break anything, it would be Homelander.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Homelander's been in the game about a week now. Final Combat, which is the end of the Mortal Kombat Pro competition, where $200,000 is on the line, and changes to cameos have happened that were not mentioned in the patch notes at all. Meta changes to certain cameos. Like, people are going to be changing up who they play because this happened. Characters getting stealth nerfed. Reptile apparently got hit by a good 3 or 4% per combo.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough to influence things. And then on top of that, this blonde-haired, blue-eyed bastard, Homelander, apparently has different physics to where he falls faster than the rest of the cast. So certain combos just don't work on him because he falls too fast. And then he's doing things that are supposed to spend bar, and he's not spending the bar.
So you'll notice. So if you play a character in MK1 that has a flight move like Natara and Omni-Man, you get one free air dash per combo. If you air dash twice, it spends a bar. Sometimes worth it, sometimes it's not. Homelander's B&Bs, people were doing multiple air dashes, like 2 to 3 per combo, but it wasn't taking the bar off of his meter. But if he didn't have the meter, it wouldn't work. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it just all kinds of craziness. So he's doing stuff that you think he should be able to do, and I'm sitting here watching. It's like, wait, why can he do this and I can't do that? But he shouldn't be able to do it. But it's all kinds of jacked up.
Yeah.
Only Homelander.
And here is like, I don't know how to feel about this yet. Like, part of me wants to be insulted, but the other part of me is just kind of sitting there going, well, what if they make it worse? Is they're basically letting all of this rock until after Final Combat, and then they're going to fix it after that.
But we don't know.
I'm just sitting here going like, do you really just want to mess up everybody's day like that, or are you just afraid you're going to mess it up worse? Because right now I'm expecting to see an all top 8 Homelander show.
Maybe, but I think we're going to see a lot more Cyrax because of
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, like when the game came out, Cyrax was easily the #1 cameo in the game because he has this move called the helicopter that launches and makes a lot of things safe and or plus on block. It had very little recharge because the cameos operate on a recharge. It took a character that would be average at best and made them top tier. See Baraka, for instance. So Raiden. Raiden. Fuck that character still. But they nerfed Cyrax to where his recharge became way longer for helicopter. Some people thought it killed him. I still saw some people using him. He had his applications. One of the things that got reverted with this recent patch with Homelander was the charge timing on the helicopter. So now Cyrax is basically back on board. Maybe not as good as he was at the very launch of the game, but it's still like the oppressive Cyrax we had in the beginning. Yeah. And they came out and we were all wondering, is this intended? They've never really, once NetherRealm nerfs something, they don't really go back and change it later on. It's very rare that happens. So we were waiting. Was this intended? Was it an accident? And all we got was, well, this is the patch. We're going to address it after Final Combat. It's like this tournament's like in a week and a half. So you got people debating that whole thing or whose fault it is. You got some people, just this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Well, that brings up a good group question then. Rag, would you change it now or wait until Final Combat?
At this point, I would probably just let it rock. Only because, and my reasoning for that is Cyrax was oppressive as hell, and so was Kung Lao. They were like the #1, #2 cameos. Yep. They nerfed both of them. Kung Lao got nerfed like 3 or 4 times. Meanwhile, you had Stryker, who was the de facto #1. He got nerfed. But then everyone switched to either Janet Cage or Chameleon. Feels like half the community plays Chameleon right now. I do. Jay does. So
Omni-Man, Chameleon, all the way.
And Chameleon has been in this way for like the last 2 patches. She hasn't really gotten any major adjustments. So it doesn't make any sense to me to keep nerfing these other cameos that were super oppressive just to leave her the way it is. So go ahead and just let it all rock. Let the assist just be the assist. Have the free-for-all, then address it after Final Combat.
Yeah. Hoarder, would you fix it now or wait until after?
So with everything that's going on, you said a $200,000 prize?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'd leave it how it is because I could just see things getting worse if they change it. I could see lack of communication maybe being a problem this close to the actual event. Hopefully the communication as to what just went down with their most recent update is known by people. So I guess they'd be better off currently.
All right. And Ryan, how about you?
I change it. I change it back to the exact thing it was before the supposed Cyrax unintentional revert. Simply because that's the identity that the game has had for quite a while, and everybody who probably qualified or was prepared for that particular balance change. No one is expecting Cyrax. Everyone understands how to play Cyrax in that meta, but the thing is that doesn't mean that it's right, nor is it healthy for the game. So if you change it back, people are going to understand what to do. It's not like it's going to be some foreign patch. It's just going to be like, oh, okay, I've been practicing this team for God knows how long, ever since Cyrax got nerfed. I'll just use that. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, me, I would change it back. Although on the flip side, it isn't like it's going to be like a total, toss up, because everybody like I said, everybody understands how to play with Cyrax cameo. So, people it's just going to be literally just this guy with Cyrax, and it's just going to look really, really corny when the tournament finally happens, and they're going to see the error of, yeah, maybe we should have reverted this guy before, everybody's playing Cyrax. Why are you guys all playing Cyrax? And it's like, why do you think?
Walk over there and shoot him in the other game.
Cyrax
Yeah.
and Chameleon. But like Hoarder said, like, I think my only hesitation with that would be you could try to go back and revert it, but given the tournament's like in a week, what can you do that without risking fucking something else up in the process?
That's also another fair point, because I feel like that's usually what happens with this particular title. They could revert Cyrax, and there is an argument to be made of what else might mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might fix Cyrax, fix Homelander, and then next thing you know, Sub-Zero has some freeze infinite or something, like, God forbid.
I mean, Homelander's already got a block infinite. You either have to
come on,
hit in
dude.
armor or just get chipped to death.
Yeah, so personally, that's what I would do.
I personally, as much as I hate to say it, because like seeing what I've been seeing, because I told myself I was going to take like a 2-week break from fighting games after I came back from Combo Breaker, because I was feeling the burnout before I ever got to the tournament. But seeing this, and then there's Final Shape over there, all nice, shiny, new, and welcoming. Like, do I really want to go back over there? But all right. That was good. That was a good topic. All right, so on to the next, kind of motoring right on through. Multiverses.
Boo.
Thing again. More than a Smash clone? I'm not convinced yet. Has anybody here been playing it? Welcome back. Why don't you shed some light? What are your thoughts on Multiverses so far?
I like it, but again, keep in mind, I'm not coming at it from the competitive mindset. It's the characters I love, and I like playing with them. I like the rifts. I think those are fun. They're going to aggravate people, though, because they're like, there's a real loose story for each rift, and then there's also like bizarre, crazy things. Like all of a sudden, you're in a tank and shooting rockets and missiles. Like, it's just craziness. And I really like that. It's a lot of fun. I will say, though, that some things are goofy if you're looking at like as a game as a service. The FOMO it's going to involve is just crazy. So most recently, games that have FOMO have been trying to dial it back or try to remove FOMO. This game had a login thing where you had to log in 11 days in a row, all 11 days. And if you didn't get a Superman outfit. It was a vacation Superman outfit, and that was the only way to get it. You miss one day, you're not getting it. So that was frustrating because it said it was through the 8th. They meant the 7th. So I didn't get it, even though I logged in 10 of those 11 days. So I would have had the 11th technically if they, had it through the actual 8th. So that was frustrating. I will say too that like there's some weirdness. So like characters instead of $8 to $10, which is roughly what they were with like when it came out before, are now $10. But then Joker is what is he? He's isn't he 12? I think Yeah, he's $12 or 3,000 points or 6,000 for Joker. So twice as much.
Damn.
So yeah, that's kind of weird, that stuff. But I will say I like the new engine a lot. Here's a problem though: nearly unplayable on Xbox unless you like your game to stutter and you like every 30 seconds or so to have everything lock up for a moment here and there. If you like that, then it's going to be great and an awesome experience. But
Sounds like
Chad,
Gabe
I
Rockcraft
recommend the
is having a field
PlayStation
day with
version
it.
over it for sure.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so like, has anybody else here tried Multiverses at all?
I tried it when I got invited to the thing, the beta, but I didn't really. I'm not a Smash Bro player.
Yeah,
I
I've
haven't
never
tried
been
it.
Smash oriented either. I played it for a few days. Jason was honestly a lot of fun. Superman was fun. Batman, God, Batman feels like you're playing with training wheels.
He's
He
fun
is
though.
just absurdly good. But yeah, I've never been in that camp either of just like I don't really play Smash games. Like
Yeah,
Smash
platform
games,
fighters and
platform
arena
brawlers.
fighters, I'm just not into.
Yeah. And that never became more apparent than when I went online for like the first time and like I got popped up into the air and it's just like I guess I just live here now. Like I can't move, I can't dodge, I can't counterattack, I certainly can't hit anyone. The air is now my home. I don't understand what's going on. That got really frustrating. The fact that it felt like only certain characters were good in certain modes. Like, oh, you want to play Jason? You better go over to 2v2 because you are going to be too slow to hit anybody one-on-one. And it's like, well, that's weird.
Mhm.
Or, oh, you want to go 1v1? You ain't playing Batman. You ain't winning. Like, all right. And then don't even get me started on the Iron Giant apparently having a throw infinite. And it's like, huh?
They had to remove him actually.
What?
Yeah. They took him back to the to the what did they say, the warehouse or whatever. So yeah, they have to fix him. They know that there's huge problems with that. Plus
So,
they made
so
big
I spend
changes
money on the Iron Giant and I don't even get to play him.
they made an insane amount of changes to experience because people were so upset with how slowly you go through the battle pass because it is slow as molasses. Like it is wild. And then like most of the rift stuff doesn't really help with it. And yeah. So like if you love the rifts and keep playing them like I do, it doesn't help you that much with the battle pass. And yeah. And there's so much to keep track of. They have all these events. So there's the Agent Smith event. There's the Joker event, which I think might be over now. And then there was one where you get something for leveling up certain characters, and some characters weren't triggering that event. So that was frustrating. I got Batman up 2 or 3 levels that weren't counted by that event.
Damn.
This game has an avalanche of problems. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm not ready to uninstall it yet, but like I personally think I won't name names just for the sake of the fact of like, anonymity and you don't air out laundry like that. But I did personally think somebody was like, thank you for nerfing Shaggy. He was a nightmare. I appreciate that. Thank you. But like I see the potential in it. And I really hope other games aren't getting affected by this, like under the Warner Brothers banner. Like I hope this didn't affect Suicide Squad in any way, shape, or form. Honestly, as horrible as it sounds, I just kind of hope that ship sunk on its own. But the bigger thing I'm concerned with is like, how's the future of Mortal Kombat or Injustice going to be if this is going to wind up being their focus? And
that's a good question.
Yeah. And $10 a character, man, that's
wild.
asking a lot.
Now, see, I understand where you're coming from, okay? Because I'm not out to get every character, just certain ones I like. Like I definitely the huge rumor now that's almost guaranteed Beetlejuice September when the new movie comes out. So I'm definitely going to get Beetlejuice if he drops. But I just gotta put that out there. $10 though per character versus what is like 15 for a Fortnite skin, right? So I mean, it's not terrible. It makes sense. I'd prefer $8, but
The big thing with me, like, since we're talking the Fortnite skins, like, most of those, like, yeah, 10, $12 for a skin. If it's a bundle, then it usually tends to be about 18 or so. But buying a skin, depending on which one you get, like, if you get, like, Thanos, then, yeah, he tends to have a bigger hitbox than a lot of the other characters. But not having a skin does not remove your ability to play the game. But say, okay, I have Batman. I have I bought Batman. I bought Superman. They gave us Jason for free, and I used in-game currency to get the Joker, and
Yeah,
I bought the Iron Giant.
Did you get Banana Guard? You just had to log in like 6 days.
Yes, I did get Banana Guard, and that piece of shit can go to hell. I hate him so much. Hello, and then just infinite you into oblivion.
Yeah.
I knew this character was going to be top tier. I just knew it. It's always the dumb looking ones that are so good. It's Aquaman all over again. Like, I was not here for it. But okay, I want to learn how to fight Arya Stark. Well, you got to pay $10. But I don't want to use her. I just want to know how to beat her.
They have fixed that actually. So I don't know if it's live yet, but now if you go into trainee, you can play as any of the characters, which is nice so you can understand if you like the character and actually do want to purchase them.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Comment retracted then, because like if you can try it before you buy it, that's okay. But say you're a tournament organizer and you want to run a tournament for this, $10 a pop for that whole roster, that is easily going to be the most expensive fighting game you've ever bought.
Oh yeah, if you're like
that's crazy.
If you're what they call like a whale when it comes to a game as a service or free to play game, then yes, it could be incredibly expensive for you. But for me, I just want like Gizmo, Stripe, just specific characters I really like that I want to play with. Pinky and the Brain are almost guaranteed because apparently one of the maps is the wheel from the cartoon. So that's going to be weird because, certain maps involve like crazy platform capabilities. So that's going to be interesting.
I like that. Like, especially when the stages start moving. When the stages start moving, like go watch a Smash tournament sometime. They turn all that shit off.
Yeah.
We are going to even the playing field as much as humanly possible.
Well, yeah, Pinky and the Brain. Where's Freakazoid and the Animaniacs?
Oh, the Animaniacs are almost guaranteed because there was like a cloud of, I want to say, Wacko and Dot, maybe about 2 months ago in a picture that showed the water tower.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bring me Green Lantern and we'll talk.
I'm sure.
You put the Rock in the game, for God's sake. Like, you can give me Green Lantern. I don't even care if it's Ryan Reynolds one. I'll play Ryan Reynolds. But...
Oh, I apologize. I would be remiss if I didn't do this. So there's one big controversy, though, that did hit. Basically, if you were playing the Rift mode on the highest level of difficulties, you had to purchase lives.
Boo.
So here's the thing, though. They claim that was a bug. But there's a whole thing that actually comes up and says, do you want to spend Gleamium or do you want to spend the other currency in order to buy extra chances to get through the highest level of difficulty in the rifts? So what they should have said is, yeah, this is something that we were going to do and it should have been removed. It wasn't obviously a bug. It was something programmed in. But
that's a snatch and grab.
Yeah, they immediately changed position on that right away, though. So
that's insane.
Yeah, but I definitely had to be something I brought up real quick.
No. I'm glad you did because that's wild. Like I already had my reservations about this game because it's just not a game I normally play. I was just kind of doing it to try it out and maybe kill a little bit of time. But like with all of that, it's just like, ooh, like I might be watching, but I don't know if I'm going to spend any more cash on it because, well, Mortal Kombat, Fortnite, Destiny, Tekken, all of them got stores and battle passes now, and it's just kind of like my wallet's tapped.
A lot of people swear by Nickelodeon too, though. So if you had any interest in that type of game, that might still be really great. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Every game has its own battle pass or pack or season. It's expensive out here nowadays.
Yes, it is.
That's why, like, to this day, you will never hear me talk shit about Fortnite's battle pass because they're at least doing it right. Like,
Mhm.
okay, you bought the battle pass, you got through the whole game, the whole thing. Here's your money back. Spend it however you want, or buy the next one and get your money back. Like, that's good business, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But all right, time for the main event of tonight.
Arcane
That's it.
Season 2.
Right.
Hey,
Summer
was
Game
hyped.
Fest
Same.
and the Xbox Showcase. So I'm not going to front. I was not super impressed by State of Play when it came out. Summer Games Fest on Friday. Again,
Yeah.
not super impressed.
I thought it was better than State of Play, but yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. Microsoft, though.
They whipped it out on the first
Ooh.
day.
Yes.
They slapped me on the
whipped it
table.
out
It was
and
like,
just
man.
slammed it on the table. Sometimes you just got to put it on the table, son. Let them see it. And Phil Spencer just went, can do. So we got stuff for Fallout 76. We got stuff for Starfield. We got a extended look at the new Indiana Jones game. We got stuff for Mecha Break, which oddly enough, I was just kind of like, what is that? Virtual On meets Gundam meets Macross. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eye out on
A
that.
little Zone of the Enders too.
Oh yeah, a little bit of minus the literal cockpit that the robot had in that game, and I was just kind of like, thank you for leaving that out. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, what's some other great stuff? Oh yeah, Doom: The Dark Ages. So another Doom is coming. We got game footage of Metal Gear Solid Delta, aka the Snake Eater remake.
Expedition
And then,
33.
Huh?
Expedition 33.
What? Let me tell you something. Expedition 33 caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
That was actually really, really wild. We have a new Dragon Age coming.
Yes.
What else? Perfect
year.
Dark. Oh my God, Perfect Dark.
Fable.
Yes.
I am happy for all of you, but I'm gonna not front. I was not on the Fable train.
That is the main game I actually bought a Series X for. No kidding.
Oh really?
I've never actually
I
played
love
it. I just see how hype everybody else is for it. I'm like, oh, I'm happy for
Fable 2 is a masterpiece. I just replayed it about 2 weeks ago. It is phenomenal. And like that is the one. Like as weird as it sounds, I'd recommend playing 2 before 1. It's like they took all the great ideas in 1 and put them into 2.
I played Fable 2, and I remember basically giving a middle finger to the entire world just to bring back my dog. I do remember.
Yes, that's
doing
an option you have.
Yeah. And nobody would blame you.
Yeah, not at all. That is rule number 1 in cinema and video games. You don't hurt the dog.
Never.
Like
Yeah.
watch me play Metal Gear Solid 5 sometime, and I have like Solid Wolf with me, whatever the hell his name was. I hear that dog yelp once. Snake, what happened? I blew up an armored tank division. Why? They threw a rock at my dog. Like I am definitely that player. But I got some trailers here. If anybody wants to check them out,
Sure.
you want to have a little mini watch party here?
Sure.
Let's do it. Share screen. Let's move. Facebook, Twitter over here. You definitely don't need to see my emails. Yeah, let's look at this one first. So, yeah, we'll just do screen 1. There we go. All right, so this is the trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
Yeah, Marshall, the Power Rangers thing looks awesome.
Can't hear it. Still can't hear it.
Yeah, I don't have any volume on the video.
All right.
What's
Wait.
going
I don't hear any sound coming through.
on? Hang on a second. Settings.
And Marshall, that is coming to console as well. It's not just PC, even though that's what it made it look like with the Steam wish list art.
All right, let's stop that right quick. Share screen. Look for share audio checkbox. Okay, that may have just been on my end then. To share audio, share a tab instead of screen. Okay, there we go. Share. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet. Approaching Soviet airspace.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. The clock is ticking. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's specialty. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment. Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
The mission rests
Welcome
entirely
back,
in your
David
hands.
Hayter.
Yes, sir.
Real one-man army. Freeze. Speak.
I put so many hours in this game.
Way too many. The GOAT.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
I'm gonna just say one thing. They need to keep the ladder. I don't care how long you've got it, just keep the ladder. You can't get rid of the ladder.
The ladder must stay in the game.
Oh, yeah.
But
I can't wait to see the Cobra unit.
So it worries me, though, and I think it's on everyone's minds, doing it without Hideo Kojima. That's the thing that worries me, because I got to play, was it Metal Gear Survive?
you actually played that?
I did, yeah. Like right when it came out.
You bought that?
With money?
Yeah.
You paid actual money for that.
Yes, I might have, yeah.
Wasn't a gift card or anything you had? You just,
Possibly, like there is a possibility it was probably a Best Buy gift card involved.
Did you find it in the Goodwill bin for like $5? I mean,
No, because it was near launch time. So
All right, somebody gave you the money, so you didn't spend your own money.
your money.
You lost a bet.
Okay. You lost a bet.
bet.
Yeah, we can roll with that.
Yeah. That's canon now.
Yeah, I mean that's genuinely one of my concerns as well, and that was actually my first time seeing the trailer. The other two, I will admit I've seen, but I didn't see that one because this happened while I was at work. But that is my big concern of like them doing this without Kojima. Obviously, it's running on the Fox engine.
Mhm.
But how much of this is just going to be a glorified paint job?
I'm okay with that.
Did you re-record the lines? I want to know that.
Doubt it. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
okay.
know.
I like the original enough to where if they just slapped a fresh coat of paint on it and put it on the modern console, and I don't have to emulate stuff, I would probably still play it.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I'd be okay with that. It's just I want to know exactly what they did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw definitely some new camera angles there. I don't want to think that it's a total just new paint job. I do think they actually expounded upon the game itself, added some more modern, feel to the guns and stuff like that. Because trying to shoot that gun in the last game now would feel very weird. Like you gotta modernize it, make it feel a little bit more. I think they actually went the right way and did it. I think it actually looks pretty good. However, I'm not gonna lie, I am very indifferent. I really am of the opinion I don't want to touch nothing Metal Gear unless Hideo Kojima is behind it.
I agree.
Like, I'm like, that's like my number one gaming fan. Like, that's my dad, actually. I call him that. So if he ain't behind it, I ain't touching it. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
That's fair.
I get you.
Oh yeah.
I get you.
Yep.
Say hello to the two biggest Death Stranding fans, right?
Yeah. See,
I'm a scab. I crossed the picket line. But I haven't actually played a Metal Gear since 4.
You should play 5. Like Ground Zeroes, like you can get done in like 20 minutes. But Phantom Pain is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Just come in with the understanding that it's not finished. Like that is the only big gripe I have about it, is that the game's not finished.
I don't know. 4 kind of I wouldn't say burned me, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. It felt like the gameplay for what it was cool, but I just couldn't get down on playing for 10 minutes and watching a 20-minute cutscene just to go to a load and then a 15-minute cutscene. It's like, okay, I get you have to tie all this crap together, but I want to play a game.
And then a 45-minute cutscene.
Yeah. And it was all good. Like if they just released it, hey, here's Metal Gear Solid 4, it's a movie, you have fun. I'd be like, great, perfect. But you sold me a game, half of it was me just sitting there waiting for a 5-minute stealth part just to go back into a cutscene.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I think of Metal Gear Solid 4, I do think of it as definitely a movie nowadays. The thing is, I want to say it was probably something we were more acceptable of when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least when I was younger, when I played it, it wasn't like I had every game. So when I had the new Metal Gear Solid 4, I was like, bro, I don't care. I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even notice that the cutscenes were so long. I was just playing, So nowadays, for sure, like we would definitely be like, wow, this is a long freaking cutscene. Like, get to the point,
I mean, Metal Gear was definitely one of those games where like even like back during like Metal Gear Solid 1, when they're sitting there talking via codec and everything, is like, dude, I have time to cook, prep, and serve a 5-course meal.
Yeah. I think of Metal Gear 4 now, and I would liken it to like, this would be like playing Detroit Becomes Human, where the dialogue and everything is cool, but this isn't a game. It's just a simulator of a game.
Mm-hmm. The interesting things that I'm thinking about with 3 Remake is, are they going to keep all of the Easter eggs and secret things in the game? Like, for instance, are you familiar with the end, right? When you fight them, there's like 5 ways.
Oh yeah, you can literally like go and change the time clock on the
I was just about to say that. I'm wondering, are they going to let it, like, can I like do that on my computer, on my PlayStation, and will he just die? You know what I'm saying? Will you still let me snipe him in the earlier cutscene where you just totally,
that's what I always did.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys are cheaters, all of you.
We don't fight him fair and square.
Legit, screw that.
Are you gonna get to shine the flashlight on the tent with Snake and Eva and have that whole thing go down the way it did?
Dog, like, are they gonna keep all of that in? Because if you know what I'm saying, I don't know, man.
If they had to update anything in the gameplay wise, I'd say they have to do something for the Sorrows section, because it was cool as a kid, but as an adult, like you need to give me something a little more engaging now. Because even if you take a pacifist route, that's fine, but give me something to do other than walk forward and get stunned every couple of seconds by a ghost.
Yeah.
Listen, the Sorrow section, I feel, was one of the most horribly made sections in the entire game. I legitimately did not know what to do for months. I was stuck. I kept doing the river scene. You get to the end, he's floating there. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, nowhere does it tell you to drown yourself and then at the game over screen, go to your menu. I'm like, you ever just do stuff in games because you're so bored, you're so fed up, and you just start mashing the controller, and then you just notice something? That's how I found out.
And it's a shame because the concept is really cool. Because Metal Gear always kind of flirts with the supernatural. Here's this ghost. You can spot him in different cutscenes if you press the L1 button or whatever. Like, you can do a lot with that. And then when you actually get to it, it's like, oh, this is very long and just needs to wrap up.
Yeah, man. Like, they would probably change it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I didn't think much of the Sorrow, at least how to beat it. Because we had been dealing with bullshit like that since Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Psycho Mantis? Like, none of us knew. And they vaguely kind of told you until somebody just out of nowhere just screamed from the roof of their house, "Put the controller in the other board!" And it somehow made it across the entire country, and everyone just went, "Oh!"
Well, they actually tell you in the calls. They tell you in the calls.
And then, what was it? Meryl? You had to look on the back of the CD case to find the codec number.
My dad. No other developers doing that. That's my dad. No other developers that creative.
And then PT. So the insane thing that was going to be Silent Hills, you had to find these parts of a photograph of this woman, and you would find them in like this hallway. But there was one that was in the pause screen, and you had to like focus on the pause menu, and the little piece would appear.
Classic.
Yeah.
I'm still mad that game never came to be.
I will never forgive Konami for that. I will never ever forgive them.
Supposedly what he's doing with Xbox is a spiritual successor, but we'll see if that's true. I'm hoping that's true.
I watched so many Let's Plays. Like, I didn't have the constant time to play it myself. I watched so many Let's Plays. Like, man, this looks so cool. When's it coming out? Oh, they canned it. Man, fuck y'all. Like, for real. On me.
From what I'm hearing, if you still have a PS4 with PT on it, you could sell it for like a crazy amount of money. I actually still have my PS4 with PT on it. Like, it just sits in the closet. I'm not getting rid of it.
But plug that itch in.
What you mean?
If you plug it in, wouldn't it update and kick it off?
Nah. They honored everybody's last minute downloads of PT. So you can keep it, but if you delete it, you're never getting it back. And then with the PS5, when it launched, they actually pushed a very, very specific hard-coded update on the PS5 so that people, if they got PT on their PS5s, it wouldn't work.
Haters.
Yeah. Konami, I will never ever, like, the world isn't ready for Hideo Kojima's doing a horror game. They just aren't ready.
Well, they might as well get a.
And that cast, Hunter Schafer, Udo Kier, that's going to be absolutely insane. Sophia Lewis.
But all right, I got 2 more trailers I want to share with everyone. The next one, like, get your battle axes ready because we're checking out Doom: The Dark Ages.
I just synced that.
Oh yeah, this is.
It looks good. It looks good.
I do have to say, and you can totally disagree and laugh at me if you want, I would like a little less platforming in it. I'll just say that.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I thought platforming was absolutely insane and at times kind of nightmarish in the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just ecstatic over the fact that it's the same guy. That he's just been around for that long.
Yeah.
Wasn't this all because they killed his pet rabbit or something?
That's how it started, yeah.
Don't kill the pet.
Yeah.
The man literally too angry to die.
Yeah. Look at that gun.
Dude, that is so sick.
It
Look
shreds
at that.
skulls.
That is ridiculous.
They really gave this man a shield. That's so crazy.
Eat your heart
Steve
out.
Rogers could never.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if this will have even more melee options than the previous ones then.
They done gave him
Doom
that suit.
Slayer Gundam.
Then he takes the mask off, and it's Frank Castle. It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a day one buy for me. Like I can't even front. Like that is just absolutely insane. Because like I played and I played it recently. I went through Doom and Doom Eternal plus the DLC. I was really wondering like where the hell else are they gonna go with this story? And well, I guess they figured out their answer. Can't go forward, go back.
What should we do? We should give Doomslayer a weave and a shield.
So
All right,
I
and
probably
the
should have
last
commented
one I'm going to share.
sorry.
If I'm alone on this hill, that's fine. And if I get emotional, so be it. But we need to look at the trailer for Gears of War E-Day. I just have to look at it again.
Has everyone seen the Indiana Jones one though? That's really great too.
I saw clips of it. I didn't see the full thing.
Yeah, we got a little bit of time. I'll see if I can find that one.
Yeah, I would not say do the Diablo one. You could get like because it's really super violent. I wouldn't recommend it.
What?
Well, I mean, we just showed Doom.
Yeah, like,
It's more.
More?
Wait do you see it?
I'm kind of curious now. I think you should go ahead and just,
Yeah, I'm kind of curious now.
Peggy 18.
People were jokingly saying they almost threw up.
It can't be that
Now I
bad.
gotta see it now. Like,
It can't be that bad.
damn.
I love this because it just shows just how strong the local tactics are.
The devs said that they wanted you to feel like even like the drone and everything was like something horrific, monstrous. Yeah.
Damn.
Yikes.
Oh, and the music, a version of Mad World.
Yeah. That was our first video game best friend right there. Friggin' dumb.
It does look clean. I said as someone who has never played a Gears of War before.
Yeah, that's a day one for me. I definitely want to know the elements of E-Day for sure.
And
We
that's
know bits and
because, like,
pieces.
yeah, I've read a lot of the books. I read a lot of the comics, and like, I have a pretty good idea of E-Day, but they have never just specifically focused on E-Day. So, like, this is kind of undiscovered country right here. Cliffy B said he loved it. Wow. Hell yeah, man. But one thing I definitely want to point out about this trailer, like, read the description. That was all in engine.
Yes, that's similar to how the graphics will actually look in the game.
Yeah.
love
So,
that.
like, we are going to get the most gorgeous Gears game we have ever seen.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous looking.
That was tight.
It was.
But yeah, seeing that at work, I have to admit, like, because like I knew right away the moment I saw like the forearm armor piece, I was like, it's Dom! Oh my god, it's Dom! Dom is back! Oh my god! Because I was definitely one of those dudes that in Gears 3, when I mean, hell, it's been years now. If you haven't played it, like, get a life. When Dom bought it in Gears 3, I was just like, no, this bullshit. I hate Microsoft. They're assholes. Oh, it was horrible when Dom died. But I mean, that's kind of Gears in a nutshell, man. Is like, don't get too attached to anybody in that game unless their last name is Phoenix, because they may not survive. And even then, it's going to be a crapshoot, especially in Gears 5, depending on what choice you made in Gears 5. A Phoenix may not survive. But all right, rolling up on time. Do we want to watch Indy or do we want to watch Diablo?
Indy's 5 minutes. Diablo's 2 minutes and 44 seconds, I think.
Diablo.
Diablo it is. The Vessel of Hatred is what it's called?
Yep.
All right.
So I know it's like video games and whatnot, but didn't they kill that motherfucker like back in Diablo 2? Did they explain exactly how he's back again?
Yes, that's a huge part. If you're talking about Mephisto, it's a huge plot point in Diablo 4.
Okay.
So like during the actual campaign.
All right, y'all lucky, chat. You getting 4 reactions out of us tonight. All right.
Likely mature. Okay.
They haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Boy, young one. Are you all
Mephisto's
right?
trapped inside that crystal.
Nirel? Oh, you're not well. Please, please, my child, let me help you.
Stay away from me! Nayrel! Is that how I raised you?
No, Mother. But I must carry this burden alone. I must get to Akarat's tomb.
But look at you. You're killing yourself.
Facial animations in game are becoming just like
I don't
absolute
know
god tier.
how much
Well,
Out of
Blizzard is
control.
absolutely insane with them.
I'm here, little magpie.
Even the red eyes because she's crying. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I'm so
It's
proud
been a while.
of
Isn't
you.
this the character whose mother you have to go
No.
try to find in the
I need
Yeah.
in the beginning of Diablo 4?
Yes, Nayrel. She's a very important part of the story.
I gotta pick the game back up.
No. Of course it's you! You monster! Let go of me!
Let go.
Jesus Christ.
No. You made a choice. And I warned you, little magpie. There would be consequences.
Oh, John Carpenter.
I think more Clive Barker, Hellraiser.
That's a good one too.
No!
Damn.
I control the stone!
The stone. You control nothing.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Boy,
yeet that thing as far as I could.
You pitch that bitch
Maybe
right
you're
into the
right.
lake.
Maybe I could use some help.
What?
Damn. He said, what the fuck me for? I was just rolling the
Yo,
boat.
her
like-
facial reaction to that is wild. She's like, huh?
I gotta row this bitch myself, huh?
You just left the motherfucker in the boat.
I had to push it overboard. I'm not looking at that motherfucker's
Like,
dead body.
just weighing you down.
This is why you can't just be picking stuff up off the floor, man.
Talk
Just
about
leave stuff alone.
Talk about how much it would suck to be your average everyday person in the Diablo universe.
Oh yes.
Like you step outside the village, there's like thousands of monsters ready to kill you. It's like, man, trying to
Man, I
make
ain't
bread,
trying to
bro.
have all that.
The good news is Sanctuary is a separate planet. It's not on Earth, so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, so there are actual like planets and stuff involved in Diablo. I thought it was just like a heaven and hell thing.
The only one you really know about is Sanctuary, and you know about the high heavens and the is it the seven hells or whatever? But yeah, it's not actually taken out of Christian faith. There's a number of weird changes there.
Oh, okay, right on. You know what? Let me know when you play that again. I'm not going to commit to anything. Say that right now. But let me know when you stream that again, and I'm going to come take a look.
I will.
But all right. So for our final, panel question for the night with the Xbox showcase and everything, was there anything on your bingo card that did not get checked off? Lionheart. What was something that you were hoping to see that you didn't see?
Arc Raiders.
From what?
Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders?
From Team Embark, the ones that made finals.
Okay.
They are making that new. It was supposed to be a looter shooter. They changed it to an extraction shooter, but I've been eyeballing that game for a long time now, and I'm just such a huge fan of Embark. They're the previous DICE devs, and they made their own company, and they made the banger that is finals. So they also wanted to make that, and it was said that there was supposed to be some inkling of Arc Raiders in Summer Games Fest, but I have not seen anything. So yeah. Kind of disappointed, but I'm happy for some things.
Ragnarok, how about you?
I wouldn't say hope because I think my hope has died for all the games I do want to see. I've accepted the fact that I'm probably never going to get another Infamous game that doesn't involve Delson. I'm not going to get another Dishonored anytime soon. I'm not going to see any new additions to Nosgoth with any Legacy of Kain titles.
Okay, I'm right there with
Even
you.
though they put out a poll a few years ago that got like hundreds of thousands of votes, and that was all that came of that.
But that's Embracer, so that's a whole nightmare situation.
Yeah.
No new Duke Nukem games, so.
Oh, you might as well just let that one die, buddy. Because even John St. John is like, it probably ain't happening, man.
Yeah. As
I have, like, you know me, I'm not an active drinker. I have actually drank with that man. I have had beers with the Duke. So
I just can't. I can't live in a world where Duke Nukem Forever is the way we end that franchise. Like that can't. That's a wrong that should be righted. It should have been righted years ago.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But seriously, give me a new Infamous game, like for real.
I'm right there with you too. But oddly enough, I'd be fine with another Delson Row game. I really would be.
Trash
Cole is dead. All right, Cole is dead.
Even if they keep Cole dead, just give me someone. Delson was such a chode. Like
he wasn't that bad.
He was. He was just a smarmy hipster douche. It was like,
it's in Seattle. What'd you expect?
He wears a beanie the whole time. Like, no. His companions were more interesting than he was. Even they were kind of lame ducks. You can't go from
Cole
you can't go
just
from
the paragon of character development.
Yes, Infamous 1. Are you kidding me? Infamous 2.
No.
Plus, we went from a Eve, I think, at Nick's to fucking the kid you would stuff into a locker and the junkie. The junkie was kind of cool. Fast Light was all right, but no, it was just trash. Even the evil playthrough, I'm like, God, he's such a just douche. Like, no.
The evil playthrough I will never do on Infamous 2 ever again.
That's
like,
my first playthrough ever. Infamous game ever.
That playthrough, like how that ended, I was just like, that was such a cock move. I am never doing that again.
He couldn't even, like I said, he couldn't even pull that off. At least when Cole had the evil endings, like, okay, I could see somebody who's pissed off doing this. And Delson's like, man, no one loves me. Man, blow up your reservation. It's like, God, just go jump off a pier.
And Hoarder, was there anything that you were hoping to see that you did not?
Yes. Super quickly, I'll say I definitely wanted to see Wonder Woman. That didn't happen, though. But more importantly, because it was damn near almost guaranteed, Borderlands 4. And so there are almost Vegas odds that we were going to see Borderlands 4. But then, if it wasn't Borderlands 4, the insiders were saying, oh, it could possibly be Mafia or the new BioShock. We got Civilization 7 because 2K had another game to show, a new one. It turned out to be Civilization 7. Like, out of nowhere, like, no one thought it was going to be that. So that was a big surprise. And I honestly thought they would use the momentum of the new movie to announce a new game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have been down for another Borderlands. Like, any chance to fly over to Pandora, like, I'm down. For me, honest to God, just because I had seen so many stirrings of it, Xbox Live Mike kind of nailed it for me. I expected some type of Gears collection for sure, because while all the Gears games are on Game Pass, Gears 2 has issues that, like, you have to completely disconnect your internet in order to progress it, or else it just freezes and soft locks once you get to a certain point in the Hive. Wow. So I was expecting some type of like Gears of War Phoenix collection or something like that, because I totally understand that Gears of War Judgment, I am on that hill alone. I am the only person that likes that game, and that is okay. But Gears 1, 2, and 3, like, yeah, they got the 60 FPS upgrade, but they could definitely stand to get some love. But the big one that I've been hearing about, and I saw it from Mint Blitz, who is a giant content creator in the community, was the stirrings of a remake of Halo Combat Evolved. And yeah, we saw nothing from Halo. And I was genuinely shocked at that, because I feel like Halo Infinite, while the multiplayer is still doing great, Halo Champion Series, Halo League, all that stuff is still doing great. Something story-wise, we still have a lot of unanswered questions from Halo Infinite that need to be answered, and nothing. Crickets. And I was just like, wow. But yeah, that was it in a nutshell for me. Like, I've gotten to the point, like, I don't really get hopeful for the game shows anymore. And maybe that's just me being comfortable in, like, the little 4 pillars of gaming that I have at the moment. But yeah, I go into game shows now, or presentations, I guess you should say. I go in with little to no expectation, because if you expect to be disappointed, you can't be disappointed, if that makes sense. So yeah. But all right. I'd say that is rolling right on to 10 o'clock, right on time. No Blade or Wolverine shown. We ain't seeing Wolverine for a while, I'll tell you that right now. And we're not going to see Blade for even longer.
Yeah. Wolverine's rumored 2026, so yeah.
Yeah, like we may get a smidgen of that at the Game Awards, but that's going to be about it.
Blade is 2027, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess it's down the line.
Roughly,
yeah, you ain't seen Blade for a while. But all right. I'd say that is a wrap on episode 4 of the Primecast. So appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Shout outs to my wonderful co-host, Hoarder Gamer, and shout outs to my 2 buds, Ragnarok and Lionheart, for joining us tonight. Lionheart definitely joining like last minute. Heel DCB was supposed to join us, but I guess he loves wrestling more than he loves me.
I mean, this is Curtis we talking about.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Curtis be out there at the tournaments rooting for every guy except his own boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shouldn't have expected no less.
World class hater, man. You got to
Oh yeah,
respect it.
like nobody does it better. But all right, Ragnarok. Do me a favor, put yourself on the map. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at ye old Ragnarok FGC. Follow me there for all my hot takes on Dungeons and Dragons, comic books, general fantasy.
Alrighty, I will
Thighs.
see you back. I knew he was going to squeak it in. he was just waiting for it. He was just like, hold.
Hey man, thick
Hold.
thighs save lives.
All right, I'll see you backstage. And Ryan, why don't you do the same?
All right, you already know the drill. Twitter is at @true_Lionheart. Twitch is gonna be True Lionheart with a 0. And same old. Yeah, just stick around and you'll see more of me. Everybody have a good night.
All right, see you backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is another one in the books, my friend.
I thought that was an excellent episode, possibly our best of this return.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I love the episodes where we can just kind of, it feels like we're just kind of sitting here shooting the shit.
Yes.
Like we have some topics, but we're all just kind of, it's just, yeah, it's just friends hanging around, shooting the shit about stuff. And those are always going to be the best. But all right, I will see you backstage.
See ya. Bye-bye, everybody.
And of course, if you're already watching, you already know where to find me. Let's be real here for a minute. But I am going to thank you again for watching. I appreciate the support, and we will be back in a couple of weeks. We're kind of off schedule now, but I want to stick to the every other week formula. I feel like if we do it every week, we're going to get burned out in a big hurry. So not this weekend, but the weekend after, we will be back with episode 5 of the Primecast. So thank you again. If you enjoyed the show, if you're watching live, be sure to hit that follow button, or if you want to further show your support, please consider subscribing. Or if you're watching over in YouTube land, hitting that subscribe button costs you absolutely nothing. But if you want to further show your support, you can always consider becoming a member over on YouTube, since we, outside of the Primecast, do live stream there on the regular. And then I try to put videos out on the regular as well. So thank you again. You guys are the best. I'll see you guys later on. Thanks for watching.